Hi friends, welcome to IAS with Santosh. In this video, I am going to discuss the ideal strategy for the Civil Services 2024 for working professionals. Let me start with the very important question which will be there in the mind of each and every working professional who is aspiring to get into all India service, whether it is IAS, IPS or IFS, that can I crack this exam while I am doing a full-time job? The short answer to this question is yes. How can I say that? Because I myself, while I was doing a full-time job, I was able to crack the prelims exam, I was able to crack the mains exam, and I also cracked the state civil services examination while doing a full-time job. And not only I, many of my students have got into Indian Administrative Service, Indian Police Service, and Indian Forest Service while doing a full-time job. Guys, this year, few of our students have got into Indian Forest Service while they were doing a full-time job. One of our student, Ishang Lal, you can see he was working in a full-time job for the last 7 years. And this year he has got into Indian Forest Service. So guys, you are not alone. There are many students who are a working professional and who are preparing with the same constraint what you are preparing, and they have cracked the civil services examination. So you can also crack the civil service examination. So I'm starting this with a lot of examples to motivate you, to inspire you that when he can do, when students like he can do, when I can do, why cannot you? So let me give you a brief background of myself. Guys, I am Santosh Pandey. My overall experience in civil service examination is that I have cracked all 6 prelims and I have cracked 4 mains, and I have also cracked my state PCS examination and I was allotted deputy collector rank. Guys, in my very first attempt I cracked the prelims examination and also the mains examination while I was working. So in my experience, whatever I am going to share today in this video is from my own experience. Okay, so the thing is that when you are preparing for the civil service examination while you are doing a full-time job, you have to understand this 80-20 rule. Because if you don't understand this 80-20 rule, then always you will be in the doubt that can I crack this examination. And once you understand this 80-20 rule, and once you start applying this 80-20 rule in your preparation, then you will get the confidence that yes, I can crack this examination while I am doing a full-time job. Okay, so before I explain you this 80-20 rule, first thing is that anyone who is doing a decent job, never quit your job. Okay, before you at least crack mains examination, never quit your job. There are many candidates who call me and they say, sir, I'm not getting time while I'm working, so shall I quit my job and shall I prepare, okay, as a full-time aspirant? Guys, if you have a decent job means if you are working in the PSU sector, if you're working in multinational companies, if your salary is around 50 plus, okay, you should never quit your job. Okay, this is a personal suggestion from my side because I have experienced this and I have seen a lot of students who make this mistake of quitting their good job and then they struggle while preparing the civil service examination. Guys, I can tell you, I can assure you, you can crack this examination along with your job. And last year, I'm telling you, out of these toppers, at least 50% of them were working professionals. Okay, so what is this 80-20 rule? Guys, this 80-20 rule says that 80% of the results which we achieve in life is decided by only 20% of our action. This means what? 80% of our action, what we do, is immaterial. It is only the 20% of our action which produce the 80% of the results. This means what? 80% of what we do is only responsible for 20% of our result, and 20% of what we do is responsible for 80% of our result. Once we understand this rule in our life, then I can tell you civil services examination is very easy even for working professional, but you have to live by this principle. You have to understand and implement this principle. You have to imbibe this principle in your daily life. Okay, how to apply this principle in the civil services preparation? Just wait and watch. Guys, okay, be very honest. Okay, generally when we say that I am preparing for civil services, what do we generally do? So most of the students you see, they will invest the entire day either reading newspaper or making notes of newspaper or making notes for the mains, whether it is optional, whether it is GS. Okay, so 80% of the effort, 80% of the effort what a general aspirant is making, I'm talking about an average aspirant. Okay, if you analyze your effort, if entire day what are you doing, you will see that 80% of your effort is going in reading newspapers, making notes, attending lectures, making newspaper notes, making mains notes. Okay, and less than 20% of your time entire day you are investing in what? Solving mock test or solving what? Answer writing. Okay, just you analyze. In suppose you are studying, anyone, just you analyze any average aspirant who is a full-time aspirant also, if he is studying 10 hours in a day and suppose in 7 days he is studying 70 hours, just you analyze how much time are you doing this activity and how much time you are doing this activity. Okay, you will see that less than 20% of the time you are investing in solving mock test, less than 20% of the time you are investing in solving answer writing in the mains. Okay, and most of the time what you are doing, you are doing some, you are making notes of newspaper, you are making notes of your optional subject, you are making notes of mains, anything. Okay, like that you are doing that, you are reading newspaper, you are reading editorials. Okay, but when you write the civil services examination, you will understand that this 80% of the effort which you are doing is only fetching you only 20% of the marks in the exam, or it is responsible for only 20% of your performance. 80% of your performance is decided by this 20% of your effort. How can I say that? Guys, in my lecture test series, okay, this year, I predicted at least 50 questions in the UPSC Prelims Examination 2023. And many of my students who were part of the lecture test series, they told, sir, whatever I was able to solve inside the exam hall, okay, I'm very serious, whatever I was able to solve inside the exam hall was only because the test, the 20, 25, 30 test which I solved in your test series. Other than that, whatever I did throughout the year, I was able to solve only 5 to 10 questions. Most of the questions I was able to solve because I had seen those questions in your lecture test series, in your mock test series. Same thing, last year, many people who got ranks in the civil services examination told about the mains optima, Sir, whatever important questions you discussed, in the mains optima classes, those questions only has got me this rank, because previously also I have taken the mains examination. That time I was blindly reading everything, but I was not able to focus on important stuff. What I want to tell you is that you might read the entire syllabus, you may keep on reading the entire newspaper, and for the 365 days you might read the newspaper, but in the exam hall you are going to get only 20 questions in every subject. Out of these 20 questions, okay, at least 15 questions can be easily predicted, and I have been predicting every year. My focus is what? My focus is that rather than, okay, focusing your effort on doing things, okay, doing things means reading newspaper, making notes, making mains notes, okay, you are investing all your time in making notes. Okay, आप अपना सारा समय invest कर रहे हैं किसमें? Notes making में. Guys, UPSC is not going to award you marks for making notes. Is UPSC going to award you marks that you have made, okay, 20 copies note or 30 copies note? No, UPSC is going to award you for what you write in exam. How many questions you are able to solve in exam. And this is only possible if you practice. The more and more you practice, the more and more is the chance of you doing well inside the exam hall. Guys, every year at least I come in contact with 5,000 students for the prelims examination, and one common feature which I have observed among all the students who fail to crack the prelims examination is that their 80% of the focus is on reading. They'll say, sir, I read entire NCERT, sir, I read all the standard books, sir, I read this magazine, I read that magazine, I read this current affairs, that current affairs, I followed 2 current affairs. Okay, but when I say, how many tests have you practiced throughout the year? They say, no, sir. Sir, I hardly practiced something. I started in the month of March. I started in the month of May, just 1 month before exam or just 2 months before exam. Very few students I have ever met who has said, sir, I dedicatedly followed one timetable throughout the year. I dedicatedly solved the questions throughout the year. And then also I failed to crack the prelims exam. Very few. Even in CSAT also, you'll see most of the candidates who fail in the exam are the candidates who do not practice CSAT throughout the year. So what I am trying to say is that your result is decided by this 20% of your effort, what you make when you solve tests, what you do when you write answers. But you are giving only 20% of your effort. 80% of your effort you are giving here. I'm not saying that you don't need to do this. You have to do this. But as a working professional, time is your constraint. As a working professional, time is your constraint. So you cannot behave in the same manner as a full-time aspirant is behaving. As a full-time aspirant, what he is doing, he is opening a newspaper, the Hindu newspaper or the Indian Express newspaper. He is, whatever is coming to his mind, he is making notes. Whether it is going to come, whether it is not going to come, he is deciding on his own and he is doing that. But as a working professional, you do not have the time for all this nonsense. What you have to do is that you have to focus on things which can come in exam. So you have to prepare the newspapers from a question answer perspective. What can come in today's newspaper? And this is what I do in daily practice sheet. From 3 to 4 newspaper every day. Indian Express, the Hindu, the Business Line, the Financial Express, the Down to Earth, the Yojana, the Kurukshetra. I prepare 5 to 6 questions which can come in exam. I'm talking about the mains exam. And I discuss those 5 to 6 questions in my DPS session. So by spending just 1 hour, what you are doing? You are covering the newspaper, you are doing the answer writing, and you are also covering the mains, and you are doing the note making also. This is what is called optimization. This is what is called optimization of your effort, optimization of your time. And that is what you need as a working professional. As a working professional, if you start doing this 80% of the effort in this, then never you are going to crack the exam. Similarly, as a working professional, if you start investing time in making notes, mains notes, the static mains notes, then you will invest all your precious time in making notes. So what is the way out? The way out is that you read my mains master notes. Many toppers in the past, okay, even rank 1 has followed the mains master notes. You use the mains master notes to optimize your time. Guys, I can tell you, I have seen a lot of toppers getting through the exam with less effort. Guys, because they are focusing their attention in this 20%. They are increasing this 20% effort to 40% or 50% because this is what is going to give them 80% of result. And most of the failure students, they are putting more and more time in this 80%, and this 80% is only responsible for the 20% of the outcome. So guys, what you need to do? How do you need to plan if you are a working professional? If you are a working professional, you have 2 types of days in a week. You have regular days where you have to go to office, and you have holidays when you are staying at home and you can dedicate your entire day for your preparation. So on regular days, what you can do is that you can divide your day into, or you can divide your preparation into 2 parts. One is before you go to work, and other is after you come from work. So before you go to work, you invest your time in your daily targets. Guys, I am giving you weekly targets, I am giving you daily targets. You can see this daily target. You can see this daily target. Every day I am giving you what is your target. You can see here what is your prelims target. Every day I am giving you chapters also, which chapters you have to read. Similarly for the mains, I am giving you daily target. So before you go to office, because once you go to office, you get tired. Okay, so before you go to office, you have to invest your time in what? Completing that daily target. For example, if your office starts from 9 a.m., okay, get up 5 a.m. in the morning, and at least 2 hours you try to cover the daily target. Which is the daily target? The daily target I'll be giving for free in the Telegram channel. You can follow that. Okay, then what you need to do is that, okay, once you come from the office, okay, suppose you come from the office at 7 p.m. okay, 1 hour you invest in the daily current affairs. Read the DPN, don't read the newspaper, directly you read the daily prelims notes. And in the night before you sleep, 10 p.m. you can attend my DPS sessions, 1 hour session, which I had explained you here. My DPS sessions, 1 hour sessions, which will help you cover mains also, which will help you cover editorials also, which will cover you doing answer writing also, because every day I am discussing 5 to 6 answers every day. So if you do this, then your static part is also covered. Every day you have a target before you go to office. Okay, you fulfill your daily target, and like this you cover the daily target for the entire week, and at the weekend you do the lecture test. Okay, so this is what will help you to cover the prelims syllabus. You have daily targets, and weekend you take the prelims test, and the weekend evening, Sunday evening, you are completely free. You sit with the test, and the test will help you to revise the entire week. Okay, I have devised an innovative way of revision, which is called test-based revision. Test-based revision. What is this test-based revision? Test-based revision is that once you have taken the test, okay, after reading the entire week, after following the entire week targets, because these tests are based on the entire week target, you sit with the test, and each and every question will help you to revise which are the areas which are weak in the entire week. Even after reading, which are the areas which you are still conceptually weak, because the questions which you have left, the questions which we have got wrong, that is going to help you that yes, before I move to the next subject, before I move to the next section, I need to revise these questions, I need to revise these concepts, I need to revise these sections. Use the Sunday time for revision. Many people are always worried how to revise, when to revise. Use this test based methods of revision. Coming to the daily current affairs, okay, for DPN, many people say, sir, the current affairs becomes very bulky. So I have innovated for working professional this one page card. I have innovated most important topic of that day. I will be giving you in this card. You just focus on these 7 most important current affairs. Every day I will be coming out with 7 most important current affairs in just one page. You do this, your current affairs will be over. After that, every day in our website there is a PPP, okay, daily current affairs quiz, which is based on yesterday's current affairs. Okay, so today's current affairs quiz will be based on yesterday's current affairs, which will help you to recall what you have read yesterday. Okay, all those questions will be based on these most important current affairs. I will make questions. So every day you are solving questions also, which I was telling you that, okay, this 20% effort, this 20% effort is responsible for 80% of your result. Just solve the PPP, okay, daily. Just solve the PPP daily, and on holidays, on weekends, where you have more time, then what you can do, you can take the weekly test and you can do the weekly revision. So Sundays you keep for revision, and weekdays you meet the daily target and use this daily target and use this DPN notes for your quick revision. So guys, even if you are working professional, you can crack this exam, provided you have a positive attitude, provided you are able to optimize your time, provided you understand what is the thing which is giving you result, what is the thing which is helping you to perform, and what is the thing which is just filling your time. As a UPSC aspirant, I know I myself have made the mistake that we do things just to fill our day. Don't do things just to fill our days. Only focus on those activities which is going to yield you result. For example, if you solve my mock tests, this is going to come in exam, because last year more than 50 questions came from our mock test. If you solve our PPP, lot of questions from PPP come in the exam. If you attend the DPS sessions, most of the questions in the mains examination you will see coming from the DPS. So why don't you focus on things which are going to give you result rather than just filling your day? Guys, come out of that psychology that you have to just sit and pass time, okay, and just because you are okay, you are okay preparing for civil services, you have to read the entire newspaper, you have to make the entire newspaper notes. Guys, no, you have to go for the smart approach, and this is what is the smart approach which is needed to crack this exam. Thank you guys. If you like this, please do share with your friends who are preparing for civil services along with their job, and please do like the video and subscribe my channel. Thank you. Bye bye. Take care.